It's David McElwain and Rona Beaumont, and we're here at the Valley and Beyond's little meditation space that the universe has provided for us. And this is the room where actually on Monday evenings we have our little meditation here at 6:30. So you're welcome to join us for that. So this is our our third live event, and we've been so trusting that the universe, that God as we understand Him, will just give us guests to have as part of our event. And Rona came in the other day to see some of the new stuff that had come in our store, and we got talking, and she's such an interesting person, has a lot going on in her spiritual life, and an event happening soon that she's going to talk about. And I said, we just asked her, hey, would you like to join us on Monday? And that was very, 3 days?
Spiritually defined, as we call it, yeah.
I say if it's odd, it's God.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And that was just a few days ago.
Yeah, it was literally, yes, just like last Friday. So it was definitely meant to be that I came into the store that day and we had the conversation we did.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful to be here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity as well to sit with you in this beautiful space. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Actually, the truth is, Rona came in this morning. She said, "My God, there's all kinds of things in here. Let's clear this space."
It feels good now. It's beautiful now.
So we did some work, and we smudged, and we got it all cleaned up, and said a few prayers, and so here we are. And my mission is to talk about meditation. And what we want to do is make meditation easy and inviting for everyone. We want to, my goal is to raise the vibration of the planet, one meditator at a time. And after a year or more of kind of interviewing people about meditation, I've asked a lot of people. I haven't tried to tell anybody in any way how to do anything. I've just asked the question many, many times. Do you meditate? And lots of folks would say, well, I'd like to, or I should, or I've tried it but it didn't work for me, or I can't make my mind stop.
Yes, heard all of those too.
And so, this part of the mission here is to help people to recognize that meditation, it can be, easy, and it can be beneficial. And I think that lots of times, people maybe aren't meditating because they don't see the benefits. And Rona was talking a few minutes ago about, there's a lot of science behind the benefits of meditation, and it's not, entirely about spirituality. And I actually think that some people are kind of, they have their spiritual beliefs, and maybe it doesn't include meditation, so that, like, maybe I shouldn't be meditating because, I should be going to the church or whatever, and all that's perfect. And I think that meditation, though, for health benefits, for anti-stress, for sleep. One of the things we've Earl, who's given me lots of information about meditation so that I could have content. One of the things that he showed me last week was how beneficial meditation is for sleep, and so there's a lot of benefits, and we'll go over many of them over the next few weeks for meditation, other than what we like to call a spiritual connection, which I actually see is really discovering who we are in a deeper level, and we sit for a little bit, then there's just us there. Like I sit, and I'm sitting with me, even if I'm in a crowded room sitting, and I get to discover, the deeper David. And
our lives get very busy. We live in a world which is very busy, and energetically and just practically in the busyness of lives, whether we're in a corporate job or whether we're a mum dealing with little children at home. Life does tend to get busy, and when we're very busy, we're focused very much in our conscious mind. Right? And we're focused on what time's dinner and what the washing is, and what happens then is we're in our conscious mind state, is we actually forget to connect in, as you said, with who we are, which is a really good point. And when I
Energy what?
who we are, you know,
Yeah.
like who we are, who the true self is, because you're just
Okay.
literally a task person. You're moving from one task to another. So in the 18 years since I've been, you know, training and working on meditation, one of the things I always say to my clients is, hey, let's just stop and just take a breath, right? Because if you can breathe, which we know you can do, what about just going in through the nose and out through the mouth? And just taking a moment to breathe. Every study that doctors have done on the power of breath alone signifies that we do not breathe enough. We do not fill exactly. We don't have a belly breath. We don't actually fill our lungs with the amount of air that they can absorb. We actually all shallow breathe. We use about 40-50% of our capacity of breath. So rather than maybe just sometimes just thinking it's meditation, start with breath. Start with a place of putting your hand on your belly. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth.
It's funny, I think yesterday I was listening to a little piece from Tony Robbins, and Tony was talking about breath, and the only thing that should be moving is our bellies.
Exactly. And when you put your hand there, you can feel that movement.
Yeah.
That is what we want to do. And even those of you, hopefully, that are online that are doing breaths as well with us, will notice that has the power to just slow you down, because you're actually sending more oxygen through your blood system. Even through your breath, you're calming down your nervous system. You're calming down your brain. You're telling your brain, you know what, it's time to rest. And it's time to
You said
calm.
you've been doing this for like 18 years. How did you get
18
started?
years. Well, I actually started to train on my training journey, really, to become a medium. And like many people, I suffered a trauma, the loss of my father 18 years ago, and it sent me into a bit of a spiral, like it does with many of us when we're dealing with grief, to a place which I couldn't really explain what was going on with me, when I started to see spirits and energies around me which I couldn't really understand. So I went to see someone to say, can you just stop this madness, because I did not need this. Yeah, exactly. What is going on? It was crazy. I was with my father at the moment of his passing.
Yes.
So I actually saw his spirit leave his body. I saw my granny. I saw his best friend come from him. I saw the whole room fill with energies.
Wow.
And it was not necessarily wow at the time. It was a bit scary, I have to be truthful.
Yes.
So I went to see someone to say, can you just did I switch a switch, or did something happen? And I remember this beautiful teacher, who then later became a very good friend of mine, a medium. She said, well. I said, no, actually, you can't really switch it off. But I can show you how to manage it, so you can control it. And then began my journey with the College of Psychic Studies in London to be training to become a clairvoyant medium.
So you were in London at the time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm originally from the UK, so most of my training is actually from the UK, from doing mediumship classes and from healing classes. So I took many years to study over there, and learned a lot about the importance of meditation to connect, like you've just been talking about, and to manage and control not just the physical self, which is the bit we see in each other, but the emotional and the spiritual parts of us as well, because
Yes.
we are not just one thing.
No.
Even though we seem to be, and we can touch this and we're like, well, yes, I'm physically here. There's an emotional body as well, and there's a spiritual body, and those parts of us need to be harmonized and connected.
Eckhart Tolle
and
talks about that a
balanced.
lot, doesn't he?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Many of the spiritual teachers talk about that when they talk about this disconnect. And the beauty of meditation is that when we meditate, and when, even with those few breaths we did, we connected into our emotional self. If we continue to enhance that and continue to do that breathing and that mindfulness, we will be able to connect into our spiritual self, which is our soul, the part of us that has been on many journeys in this world. So that was the practice that I started 18 years ago, and now I've been working 4 years in Calgary full time.
How did you find your way to Calgary?
Well, that's another question. We're two small boys and no house and no job.
Wow.
We literally left everything behind.
You picked Calgary?
We picked Calgary. Yeah,
Wow.
we picked Calgary. Well, again, everything is spiritually defined. Part of the journey was definitely a time of reconnecting with purpose and with service. I was in a very busy corporate job. I worked as a vice president of a sales and marketing company,
Oh my
British
God.
Telecom, in one of the
Yes.
telcos, right? I was in a very stressful, high-powered job, and after my own sort of spiritual awakening, realized what was I striving for,
You said,
right? Yeah,
"Fuck
where
it."
was I going? Yeah, yeah.
good for you.
So yeah, I left my husband. We left our jobs. We left our house. We left our cars.
So you brought your husband with you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
good.
2 small children, 8 and 10 years old. Packed them on a plane, and we lived in the Holiday Inn on McLeod Express. That's where we lived. That was our journey over to
Wow.
Canada, to welcome to Canada with nothing.
Well, we're
Literally, we
glad
had some
you came.
furniture on a container, but that was it, and started a new life. Yes, totally
Wow.
started a new life, seeking a place where we could again live more in balance with
Yeah.
who we wanted to be and with the environment we wanted to be.
Calgary actually has quite a high energy, doesn't it?
It's absolutely.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and maybe you guys want to Google this, but it actually has one of the 12 strongest vortexes of energy is in
Yes.
Calgary.
Yeah.
It actually sits on a very particular, what we call ley lines, which are the energy lines across the world. Calgary is one of those spots.
Yeah.
You know, along with Chichen
Mount
Itza,
Shasta.
Mount Shasta, Chichen Itza.
Yeah.
It is one of those spiritual areas.
I've been to about 8 or 10 of those spaces.
And
so,
Salt
yeah.
Spring Island, which
Yeah.
is where the Dalai Lama says he wants to be buried.
Wow.
Hugely spiritual place
Yeah.
as well. So we're very lucky to live here. In fact, next May I'm doing an event at Lake Louise at the Archangel Michael Vortex,
Mhm.
which many people might know. There's only one of them in the world, and it's right over Lake Louise, right? It's
Mhm.
right on your doorstep. And I'm going to be working with Dana Cooper over
Do
there.
you know, I go to Bali
Yes.
often twice a year, and it's amazing, the energy.
Oh yes.
It's just like, and
So beautiful.
and I really feel like these two places are connected,
Yes,
you know,
I wouldn't be
and
surprised if they are. Yeah, energetically
Yes.
connected.
Yeah.
We call Bali the third eye of the world.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the spiritual center. It's the place of seeing and connecting.
always
into
for
the
me, I'm
future.
like coming home,
Yeah.
always, it's like, you know, and if I can be there full moon, it's
Amazing. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yes,
Yeah.
lovely. I'd love to visit sometime.
Yeah.
I really would.
you know, this whole thing with the meditation stuff, I really, it isn't optional for me.
Mhm.
I've been called so strongly to do this,
Yeah.
and the meditation stools and the altar and all this stuff is really just, you know, it's not the message.
Yeah.
Yes, when people have these things in their home, they're more likely to meditate, but the message is really around meditation and connection and
Absolutely.
you know, and discovering who we are. I think that we're spiritual beings
Yeah.
having a human experience,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that
physical experience.
we get disconnected
Correct.
from, you know, from the mainframe, if you will. You know, we get like little PCs, and we've all gotten disconnected,
Correct.
or many of us, and caught up in the busyness.
Yeah. Of
And,
life.
and,
Yeah.
and when we sit, even if it's 3 minutes or 5 minutes, when we begin to have a practice of sitting, we discover that amazingness that's inside of us, the infinite possibilities that are
Absolutely.
inside of us. The Deepak talks about the infinite possibilities and the field,
Yeah.
you know. And
Lovely.
I showed you my affirmation cards, and you know, I recognize that when I speak those out, those affirmations, they're going into the field,
Correct.
you know, and the energies in the field can come and support, you know. And
Absolutely.
I know that seems a little
Absolutely.
woo-woo, but
Well, okay,
probably
I'll
not to
probably
you.
go a little bit woo-woo. Yeah, I was going to say, just as within every cell you have DNA, right? You have strands of DNA,
Yes.
which is your imprint of your physical self.
yes,
We have energetic DNA too. So
Yeah.
everything in your energy field
Yes.
is being stored. Everything. Everything is an imprint. So you're absolutely right. When you're putting affirmations in there, you're shifting and changing that DNA
Mhm.
to create exactly the energetic field that you want to be surrounded with.
Mhm.
So you're absolutely right. It's so super important. But just on the stools, because you just mentioned that, what I was just going to say to you is what I love about this is the fact that you can still have your feet on the ground. You know, with a chair, we only can really put our feet down. It's not the same experience meditating as when you're meditating on something where you can actually still connect with the feet, but you're not on that, you know, that cushion that can move around and, you know, wobble and not be as
it's
comfortable
okay,
as it
just-
is. So yes, I agree with you, and altars absolutely, and a part of what we do in the practice I work with my students. We actually light a candle as well to welcome in energy, to welcome in spirit into my
yes,
light, and
yeah.
and lighting a candle, just an unscented white candle,
Yes.
brings in such a sense of connection. It's an
Yes.
intention
Yes.
that I'm welcoming it in. I'm setting an intention
Yes.
to put that candle on my little altar
Yes.
to bring in and welcome in spirit.
We should do that. You know, my candle, because I do work in the kitchen a lot with I working with young fellas a lot.
All right,
And so when we sit in there, we light the candle to signify spirit and to signify.
Yes.
There's a candle in the kitchen,
There you go.
right on the
There you go.
on the under. You know where it is, right on that counter there when you first go in. Thanks.
So it's a beautiful way, right, to put that on your altar.
Yes.
And often I'll just put it in a clear dish, so it is protected, and some salts, some sea salts on the bottom to recognize earth. Put your candle in that, so it's in a safe container. You're not going to have to worry about it spilling or anything
Yes.
else over your beautiful little altar, and it keeps it safe. And it's, as I say, it's just welcoming in the connection with spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe your can't find it.
That's
Yes,
okay. That's
yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
next time you'll have it next Monday, anyway,
Yes.
won't you? You'll
Yeah.
have it in your little table there as well.
So this thing, you know, I mean, the mission. Ah, there it is.
You see, look at that.
Thank you. Thanks,
Ask
Earl.
and they shall receive.
The,
Beautiful.
the mission is, I believe, it is this mantra that I have to actually raise the vibration of the planet, one meditator at a time. I'm a big fan of Dr. David Hawkins.
Yes.
Do you know
yes,
Hawkins?
Yes. Oh,
And-
yes.
And you know, and I really think that just, you know, one person's vibration can make a difference in the whole planet.
Absolutely. And I
And
find what's
Thank
interesting
you for
now,
this idea.
dealing with clients, especially I want to talk about children.
Yes.
The children that are being born today already are at a higher vibration. They're coming into this earth with a lot of a different energetic frequency than we did when we
Yes.
came here. They are struggling with connection. We see a lot more emotional issues with children,
Yes.
a lot more allergies with children, and it's because this heaviness of earth is very difficult for them.
Yes.
So I talk to a lot of mums about starting even with babies,
Yes.
meditating and chanting. Children love to sing, right? They love to chant. Creating a space where after bath time you can chant, you can sing, and you begin to encourage that child to connect into their own energy.
Mhm.
So that as they grow, they realize, okay, after bath we have this time when we sit and contemplate as they get older,
Yeah.
right? They can wrap their room in
My
love
daughter
and
does
light.
that. She has twins that are just turning
Oh.
5,
Beautiful.
and she has a meditation space for them.
Yes.
She, you know, they're
They need it.
they're tuned in.
We say we
Yeah.
need it, they really need it.
Yes.
They really need it because they're struggling to deal with this dark energy,
The
right?
denseness
The
of-
denseness of
yeah.
earth.
Yeah.
And it's too difficult for them. They're already at this higher vibration. So we need to step up as parents and to encourage
And
them and work
grandparents.
with them and grandparents and work with them, right? To connect into that,
Yeah.
to help them where they're already at.
Yes.
I'm sure you've read what the Dalai Lama said, that if we taught every child of 7 to meditate, yes, we would not have any war in the world. Because when we find a place of peace and when we find a sense of our nature and our understanding, and we can connect into that, then our whole thought process, emotional process changes too.
I was
right?
really blessed to be able to go to India and spend time with the Dalai Lama, and to be in his temple and do a 3-day initiation, and it was like, wow.
It's incredible. I
Oh.
saw him here at the Saddle Dome,
Yeah.
and you could have lifted the roof off that building with the energy that was in that room when he came to Calgary. It was amazing.
You know how things happen in life, and I was like, how the heck did I get here? You know, I'm
Yeah.
sitting in this sea of monks.
Oh,
You
it's
know,
beautiful.
this, you know, country boy from New Brunswick. That's
Yeah.
how I was. You know, I'm from the East Coast, but it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I
and,
can only
and it stuck
imagine.
with me, you know, very much so, and I look forward to going back.
Yes,
Um,
it's
you know,
amazing.
The Tibetans are
man.
amazing people.
Yeah, incredible. In fact, a lot of their traditions, I just mentioned chanting, the chanting that they do, we've incorporated in our own teachings as well. And I was just yesterday chanting Om Mani Padme Om with a
Mani
group of
Padme Hum, yes.
ladies who
Mhm.
are struggling with lots of health challenges.
Mhm.
And we're doing a healing day when my practitioners were coming in and we circled around our clients
Mhm.
with Om Mani Padme Om, which is
Mhm.
all about easing
Mhm.
suffering with compassion.
Mhm.
Right? So they're
Mhm.
very powerful. The Tibetans have taught us a lot
Oh.
about this journey.
Yeah. And you know, what's interesting? I've been to Peru in the Andes,
Yes.
the very high in the Andes, and the people who live high up in the Andes are very similar to the Tibetan people.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes,
with
spiritual.
little bells and colors, and it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are little cousins,
Oh yes.
and maybe they are.
It's incredible. It's true. Well, if you even look at spirituality, the history of spirituality, look at all the countries around the world and all the peoples around the world that believe in a soul and the spiritual place. We have such a commonality so many different religions, but it all comes down to the fact that we believe there's a part of us that sits inside us, which is our soul, that is on a journey, right? And I feel you're right, you know, however it is determined, it's all part of being a spiritual person. Yeah. But easing into meditation, other ways, we were chatting, I think on Friday, about other ways to ease into meditation as well. Some of the tips that I was talking to my clients about that I thought we could share, if that's okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and let's not forget to talk about your event.
Yes,
You
for
know,
sure.
because you know we'll talk about it. We'll also put it on the in the info of this video, and I'm excited to come to your event, and so maybe you could tell us about that.
Yes, sure. Let's start with that, and then I'll share some tips afterwards. So November the 25th, it's actually Grey Cup final day, funnily enough. So it's a good day maybe for some people to get out of the house. We're having our Spirit and Soul Fair. It's the fourth year that we've been running it now. The Spirit and Soul Fair is a totally free event at the Glamorgan Community Centre, and this year I've also rented the space behind the Glamorgan Community Centre, which is called the Glam Shack, and we're having a series of speakers that are going to be in there again, totally free to the public to come. The event is full of vendors, over 50 vendors that are coming. They're all local. Everything that you will find there is handmade, is crafted from those artisans themselves, right? So it's all local product. There are no corporate companies. It literally is just individuals, spiritual people that are creating their own businesses and doing what they love to do and being in passion, which is why we bring them together. We have card readers, psychics. We have a whole downstairs devoted to healers who want to come in and offer little healing sessions. So you can come for healing, you can come for a reading, you can come just peruse and purchase Christmas gifts that are local and handmade and unique. And then, as I say, in the Glam Shack during the day, we'll also have speakers, and you've kindly said that you'll come you'll dress the space as a beautiful meditation space, because the theme of all the speakers is around connection with spirit. So they'll be doing meditations in there, or we'll be talking about mediumship, all very, very different, variety of topics, but all on the same theme of connection. So yeah, very excited about that. So 25th of November, it's a Sunday, starts at 10 a.m. till 4:30, totally free. You can go and find the link. And on Thursday this week, if you're interested in meditation, I'm doing a guided meditation, which is online. So you can meditate now from your own home. So
like
I'm
we're
just
going to do in a few
online.
minutes here.
Yeah. So it's an online meditation that you can just connect in. And I'll guide you through it. Sometimes with meditation, we first learn it's actually easier if someone talks you through it, because you don't feel it's, you know, oh, I need to be thinking about the washing, whatever I'm doing. When someone is actually talking you through where to be, that really helps, I found. So I'm going to be doing one of those as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thursday evening?
Thursday evening.
What time?
Thursday, November 1st. It's at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, at 7 p.m. Just so that you can put the kids to bed, ideally, and have some time to yourself and sit in your bedroom and listen to a guided meditation.
Nice.
As well, later on that. Yeah.
Like half hour or 20 minutes?
I would normally we tend to be about 15 to 20 minutes meditation, and then I answer questions. So I answer spiritual questions. I'll have my tarot deck with me. I spend time just chatting to people about the various questions they've got about spirituality or questions about their life. Then I take time to do that. So we probably take about an hour by the time I've got through everybody's questions. Then it takes about that long.
So you had some tips about meditation?
Yes, I was just going to go through that really. One of just some easy ways to ease into meditation that we are talking about that I discuss again with students of mine. The first one is called the spiritual shower. So all of us in the morning have a morning routine. You know, we're going into the shower. So one of the things that we can do in the shower is actually visualize, and we could just do it now. Visualize that water flowing over our head, and visualize it as a beautiful stream of white energy. And as you breathe, and breathing in, feeling the steam and the mist in the shower, visualize that energy, the water pouring down, sparkles. It sparkles with white and gold and silver flows of energy. You're feeling it over your head, over your ears and your nose. And then breathing in and feeling it now flowing down over your shoulders. You relax your shoulders down, all the way down to your fingertips. This beautiful warm water that is flowing down your body, all the way down your hips and down your legs and into your toes. And as this water flows, visualize the water clearing and cleaning your energy. So imagine all the colors, the golds and the whites and the yellows, allowing any of those emotions that are stored within your body just to flow down with the water and letting them go, flowing all the way back to Mother Earth and to Gaia. breathing in and letting that energy flow down with the water, warm water. It's dripping now out of your fingertips, down to your toes. You can feel, sense, and know that you're clearing and cleansing your body at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, a minute. And doing that every morning is enough of a meditation, right?
Yes.
And the red traffic lights, when you're stopped at red, rather than getting all angry about, oh my goodness, I've got somewhere to go, how about 3 breaths? In through the nose and out through the mouth. Normally most Calgary lights is about 3 breaths before you get to an amber or a green, and you can just bring yourself down. That red light is a reminder to you, am I breathing? Take a moment to breathe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just use the red light as
As an indicator, as
yes.
a signal that this is my
Time
time
to
to
breathe.
take a breath.
Yeah.
So rather than being a symbol associated with stop and angry, we change it to be a symbol of
Yeah.
actually being a moment to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are a couple of good tips.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Earl, how much time do we have left?
Aha. Oh wow.
No way. We're going to run over a little.
Oh my goodness.
Let's everyone. Let's just kind of take that energy that Rona just gave us, and we're going to go into about a 3-minute meditation, and just wherever you're sitting, just relax and feel your body. Close your eyes, and just feel into everything that Rona's just given us, into our shoulders and to our hips, and loosen our jaw, and we're just going to take 3 minutes. Earl's got the timer, so you don't have to worry about when 3 minutes is over. And if there's noises, just include them. They're just part of the scene. Just drop into your space inside. Remember to breathe.
Come back to the present moment.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
a pleasure to be with you today.
Oh, I'm glad you came. It was fun to just have it go wherever it went,
Yeah.
A couple of quick things before we finish. I'd like to invite you to like our page, of course, and on Facebook. Love if you comment, ask questions. We're going to repost this. It'll be up for the whole week, and check us out on YouTube as well. And we'd love if you subscribe on YouTube, and we're also on Instagram. And if you follow us on Instagram, that would be really cool. And if you support the vision of raising the vibration of the planet, one meditator at a time, you could support us by maybe buying a stool, a meditation stool. They're great. They're recycled teak. They're handmade in Java. Java's kind of you know, I think it's mysterious in a way. You know, just a name like Java. It's but they're handmade in Java and they're recycled teak, and the altars are as well. And so go on our website at valleyandbeyond.ca and order one of these. That would be really super. Make a great Christmas gift. And I think that's it. Oh, I just wanted to say, you know, just keep coming up. One of my, you're from London, and I love
Yes.
that you've come here. And one of my favorite guys is from London is Russell Brand.
Right,
I'm
yes,
a big
yes.
fan of Russell's, and he's so fun, and you know, I love. He's so smart.
Yes,
He's-
incredibly smart.
Oh my gosh, and he and I share some things in common actually, and so anyway, I'm a big fan of Russell's, and he kept coming to just say his name, and,
Yes.
bring his energy into this event. And,
That would be beautiful.
yeah, wouldn't it be great?
I
Yeah.
really would love that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's it. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rona,
Thank you
for coming
Thank you
and
for having me. It's
and
been
join us.
fun.
I look forward to your event and
Yeah.
being part of that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Love you guys.
You
Bye.
bet.